Hi, I'm Denise Turney, and I'm your host here for the Chistel.com, Chistel.com YouTube channel. And I'm also the host of the online radio show Off the Shelf, which is over at Blog Talk Radio. And I hope you'll come over there and visit on Saturdays at 11 a.m. in the morning. But I thank you for being here. And today, during today's session, what I'm going to talk about is freeing yourself up to write better. Actually, during today's Off the Shelf radio show, this is where an idea for this Chisel.com YouTube session came from. And so, what this person did, they normally told me that they worked with an outline, but another friend told them, why don't you just try to write about the seat of your pants? Don't use an outline, don't use sketches, just don't use any material at all. Just sit down and write. And she said, I am so struggling with this book because I took that approach, and she said I will never do it again. So the first thing to free yourself up to write better, find an approach or a technique that works for you and stick with it. Stick with it if it keeps working. So here's some things you can do to free yourself up. If you say an outline is too confining, some writers just want to sit down and write. So if you can either outline the entire novel, now you know where the peaks and the valleys are. You can do some character sketches so you can make sure your characters are three-dimensional. They're not like superheroes that you never show a weakness. They're human, and the readers see them as human. So outline your novel. So let's say you're like, I don't want to do that. That's just too confining, Denise. So what you can do is outline the next scene in your novel or the next chapter. Just do that. And I'm talking like the next scene. I do it 2 sentences. Or the next chapter, a few sentences. And you may be able to outline the next chapter in just 4 to 5 sentences, short sentences. But do that before you finish writing for the day, before the end of the day or the night, and that will free you up. So when you sit down to write again, you don't have to sit there and think, what should I have the character do next? How can I make this exciting? How can I create some conflict and some tension here? You don't have to do that. It's already laid out there for you. So if you don't want to outline the whole book, then outline a scene. Before the next scene, before you finish writing for the day, or the next chapter, that can free you up. Remember, we use a lot of our subconscious to write with, and that's how come writers see things that happen in their stories and they're shocked, because we do write and create with our subconscious. Next, really get to know your characters. And I mentioned character sketches before. You can write character sketches. Have your characters write letters. You can write a bio on your characters, or a very, very short memoir on a character. Or you can actually pretend that you either are the character and you're doing an interview, but if you do, record it so that you can get to know the character better. What type of music does the character like? Where's the character from? What are their food tastes? What are their likes, dislikes? What are the character's hidden fears? What are their fears they try to hide, but everybody else sees them anyway? What are their strengths? What do they like? What attracts people to these characters? What kind of pushes people away from the characters? So get to know them better. And write something every day, because again, we create so much as we do living our lives. As psychologists have found, a lot of what we do, it comes from subconscious thoughts and subconscious energy. So you want to write something every day. Just keep yourself freed up. This one I didn't realize was so important when I first started writing when I was a kid. But deal with stress. Deal with things, whether it's stress from work, stress from home, stress in a relationship, stress, finances, whatever it is, deal with stress every day. And this probably would not only apply to writing, but everything in life. Deal with stress as it arises. Don't try to push it down, because it's still there. And remember, we create with our subconscious, so you don't want all that junk pushed down. So your subconscious, it needs to be freed up as much as it can. You're going to need that energy to write great stories with. So I hope those tips help you as far as freeing yourself up to write better. And again, I'm Denise Turney. I'm the host of Off the Shelf Book Talk Radio over at Blog Talk Radio. And I hope you'll check us out at 11 a.m. on Saturday mornings. We have some awesome guests. And I hope you'll also visit me online at chistel.com, CHISTELL.com. See you back here next week at the chistel.com YouTube channel. Thank you. Remember, you're blessed.